Right, so I thought I'd just jump on and let everybody know, especially the people living in the Mansfield area, exactly what's been going off, because I think that people's got a right to know what's been going off. You might be involved in something similar to what's been happening to me, and if you have, and you're too frightened to report it or anything like that, don't be. Stand your ground and report it. So here we go. So before I start, I want to make it absolutely clear that what's going off, at no point now or in the future is for any form of monetary gain to myself. I am not doing any of this to make money, and that will become clear to you. So basically what's happened, if you're not aware, there's some things I can talk about, and for legal reasons there's some things I can't or won't talk about. I've got loads of evidence, videos, screenshots, photographs, you name it, I've got it. So 6 or 7 months ago, I had a text message come through to my phone. And on that text message, it said, "We have been told to contact you by Mansfield District Council with regards to electric upgrades, electrical check." I think they put something along them lines. "Please contact this number." No name of the company, just a phone number, and that's exactly what it said in the text message. Mansfield District Council had put all over their Facebook groups and everything else, "Be aware of scammers." Now, I didn't know whether that was a scammer. You will all get scammers now. So I did know more than phone Mansfield District Council. And they said, yes, it's a company called GOOMS from Herefordshire that's dealing with it. You need to contact them. That's what I've had my electric done, etc., etc., etc. So I finally got into contact with GOOMS, and they said, we need to send somebody out to check your electric and upgrade anything that may need upgrading. Herefordshire. Where's the greenness in this? Where's using local tradesmen? Where's using local businesses? Where's putting money that taxpayers or rent payers have put into the pot going? Because it's certainly not going in the community of Mansfield, is it? Right? It's going to Herefordshire. So that's my first grievance. And this is something else that Mansfield District Council is supposed to be quite strict at. Now, some of this is aimed at Mansfield District Council because the responsibility lays with them finally, doesn't it? Let's be fair about this. But most of this is on the door of the electrical company, GOOMS Electrical. Okay? So they sent me a guy out from Doncaster, and he said, you need to upgrade your consumer unit, the fuse board, if you will, the fuse box. Okay. He left in contact with GOOMS, and they said, before we can fit that, we have to fit an isolator switch. Fair enough. The bloke come from Middlesbrough. Green. He fitted that isolator switch, and then I had GOOMS come back to fit the consumer unit. Leicester. Doing well, aren't we? He fitted the consumer unit and said it needed a smoke alarm fitting at the bottom of the stairs. Knock on the door one morning. To what, and this is relevant, to what can only be described as a gentleman that I don't think anybody would want in the house. Near mind, a tenant. And that's as far as I'm going to go on that. You can draw your own conclusions to that. But he had smothered himself with Vicks Vaporub to hide what could only be a strange odour on him. Let's just put it that way. And that's as much as I'm going to say on him. Not one of these people that visited my house produced an ID, a badge, or any means of identification to me. Right? Not one. They never had a badge on. They never produced it. That's my first argument. The situation gets a little bit tricky that I can't go into, but let's just say toolboxes was in front of this equipment, moved out the way, and when the smoke alarm come, they was put back. There was opportunity for anything to be stolen out of one of my toolboxes. which it was. Okay. I then said, when he then said to me, we had a conversation with this guy with a smoker on. I said, "Are you fitting the extractor van?" Yes. He went to his van, jumped in his van and did a moonie. He went off, he went, shot off. No extractor fan was fitted. I phoned GOOMS up and they said, "We'll send him back on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. He never came. This same lad never came. Why? Why did he not attend? I contacted GOOMS. Yes, he had to go home for family personal matters. He was from Derby, by the way, originally from Huthwaite, up the road from me. But he turned around to me in a conversation when I spoke to him, he said, "I had to leave Huthwaite. I had to leave Huthwaite," which I thought was a bit strange. Again, I'd got no ID. So if anybody comes to your door and you don't produce an ID, do not let them in. If you're not happy, shut your door, lock your door, phone the council and say, "Look, I've got someone at my door." Or, like suggested today, "Can I see your ID? I've got no ID." Photograph the person or get them on your CCTV. Get a copy of that. You need to look after yourself. You need to protect yourself. Yes, family reasons, he had to go home. We'll send him back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, he didn't turn up. Hence, I did a video. And on that video, I stated that GOOMS are coming today and they won't do anything in the property. And I took photographs and videos of the meter, of the consumer unit. You've seen it, the sticker. Right? There was a knock on the door at 5 to 12. And one of the gentlemen was the Doncaster lad who had originally come. So I knew his face. As I opened the door, he barged past me. And I mean barged past me. Knocked my shoulder. Went straight to the consumer unit, undid it, swapped a fuse inside that consumer unit and peeled a sticker off it. I got the evidence. I've got the remnants still on the box today. And I've got the evidence before and after. So I phoned GOOMS up again. Conversations on here. There was the same lad who was supposed to come back and he never turned up. Why did he not want to turn back up? So when these came, I mentioned the extractor fan and all the rest of it, and I'm not going to go into that part of it. So that's another video or your previous video. I then thought, something's not quite right here. So I got in touch with Octopus Energy. Octopus Energy came out and the switch that they'd fitted was obsolete. It was not fit for purpose. It shouldn't have been in there. So we've now got a fuse that's been changed. That was a wrong fuse in the box. We've now got a wrong isolator switch fitted. We've now got no extractor fan. And we've now got a smoke alarm that needs moving. Okay? So I phoned the council and explained to them the circumstances of it. I did the right thing. I phoned the council to let them investigate it. Oh, the woman was great. So do I think it was her or do I think it was the person that the information was passed to? Probably the person it was passed to. I probably read it and thought, fuck it, basically. So I did that and explained the situation. Yes, I'll get it sorted out straight away. I did the right thing. It wasn't a formal complaint at that time. The amount of stress that this has caused me, not having all these people in my house, turning up without badges, treating this like a fucking whatever they want to treat it like, right? And having a tool stolen from my toolbox. And that tool was £53.99. 54 quid. All right, £54 stolen. So I spoke to my ex, who works for Nottinghamshire Police. She said, I'll have him for theft. I said, no. I don't want to rock the boat, really. I said, you know, if he gets nicked for theft, it's going to cause a drama. And I don't want the drama in my life. Subsequent to that, the stress and the fact that I've just gone through yet again suicide prevention and all the rest of it, and waiting to work with Portland College, right, in placement for my mental health and my complex PTSD that I'm now being diagnosed with. I'm now suffering from quite bad anxiety and all the rest of it. I don't leave my house or anything. I had a really bad panic attack, and I thought I was genuinely having a heart attack. So I ended up in hospital. Over all this. So then, when I was released from hospital, I was given painkillers, sprays, and everything that they thought would help me through it. I then had an intervention from my doctor, who's now prescribed me sertraline, right? So basically, you sit on the settee all day like a vegetable. That's basically what they're trying to do to me now, to save myself, from harming myself or committing suicide. That's a fact, right? I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Because life to me is not worth living. That's just me. I'm just being open and honest with everybody. So I'm sat on this settee, watching Elvina's Own Pet or whatever I'm doing, occupying my mind, just getting over the fact that I've just been in hospital. And a car pulls up. Now, in the meantime, I've had a phone call from the council, from the mental health team. How are you? Are you all right? You've not been answering our emails. Now, there's a certain person out there that's probably got these emails and opened them and read them and all the rest of it, but not informed me about these emails that they've been sending me. Spoke to this lady on the phone, told me who she was, explained everything, helped me out with a lot of things. Well, I say a lot of things. This car pulls up. A little blue car pulls outside my house, then backs off as if they was going. Then, anyway, to cut a long story short, they walked down my drive, so I opened the door. Hiya, is it Paul? All right. It's from the mental health team. And this is from the mental health team. I won't name them. We're just passing and we thought we'd pop in. We're just passing. We thought we would pop in. Okay? That's what they said. They know I suffer from anxiety. They know I suffer from depression. They know I've got complex PTSD. They know I'm at risk of suicide. They know I'm a vulnerable adult. And yet they were just passing and they thought they'd pop in. Right? So they came into my house and they sat on my settee. You need any help with anything? We can sort everything out. Cut a long story short, I said to the bloke, won't say his name, explain to him what's gone off. We'll sort you that out. Sent an email. That's twice the council's been contacted. All right? And this is internal, by the way. So a member of the council's informed another member of the council, and that's fell on deaf ears. So that's fucking twice. So as time's gone on again, I've rung them again. And I've explained exactly what's gone on. We'll sort this out. We'll deal with this. Don't worry, Paul. Don't worry. We'll sort this out. It never got sorted out at all, did it? Right? So then when we dropped onto the 11th month, November, which is four months after, by the way, I made that initial phone call and all this has been going on. 4 months. They've had 4 months to sort this out, the council. I decided I'm going to put in a complaint because that's the only way that these people act. So then I put in my stage 1 complaint and it's all over Facebook again. Go on to Mansfield District Council, or I was a part of what they've done is they've set up the housing, Mansfield Housing it's called. It's a closed group and you can join that, and at the moment it's got 200 members. It did have 201, but I've took myself off it. And they put posts on there for the tenants. It's all worthless information. You can't comment on it. You can't message them. You can't do anything about it. You can't even like the posts or dislike the posts or anything. It's been set up for no other reason. You join it, you have to give your address and all your details so they can spy on you. That's what it's for. It's the Matrix again, isn't it? They can spy on everybody. Oh, this is 17 Colwick Close. We'll spy on him through his Facebook account. Oh, this is number 1 Barnsley Crescent. We'll spy on them through their Facebook account. And that's all that's for, in my opinion. But according to them, no, it's not. It's supposed to be helpful. Well, it's not helpful if you can't comment and ask questions. So they put all over there. Don't be afraid to complain, right? Do not be afraid to complain. So much percentage gets sorted out at stage 1. My complaint shouldn't have even got to stage 1. I've done the right thing. I've not involved the police. I'm not trying to drag your name through the mud. I've told you what's gone off to try and save you money because they fitted wrong switches and all the rest of it. I've tried to be helpful, honest and genuine. All right? That's what I've tried to do. After 10 days, I get contacted. 10 days. He arranged to come out and see me. The head of the electrics came to see me along with another guy I don't really know what he did. He actually said something about communications and all the rest of it. But half an hour before them two came to my address, we had the street cleaners cleaning all the streets, right? I've got the video coming out with the rubbish, picking all the rubbish up outside my address. Makes it very strange, isn't it? You don't bloody see them when you any other time. So anyway, they came out and I explained everything to the head of the electrics, what had gone off. What did you have stolen from your toolbox? So I showed him exactly the part what I had stolen on my phone. I said, that's what I've had nicked. A Clark air nibbler at $53.99. That's not including the coupling that went in the end, which is another couple of quid. So let's just say £57 all in total. Explained all the stress. Explained about my mental health. Explained about what I've been put in hospital. Bloody, you name it, I explained it. Paul, leave it with me. So he left the property. Great bloke. I can't fault him. And the problem that we have nowadays is, I don't think he wanted to say a lot of what he wanted to say. He couldn't say. Because they bind and they're trying to keep me sweet and sugarcoat me and gloss this over. Okay? I then get another email from the head of housing repairs. So at this point you're thinking, well, it might get sorted out now. We're going to get the work done. We're going to send somebody round to your property and we're going to do the extractor fan and we're going to do the smoke alarm. I'm going to come out to see you on the 18th and I'm going to come with two electricians who work for the council. No worries. So he came out to see me. The two electricians went upstairs, fitted the fan, moved the smoke alarm. I asked them if there had been any problems. They said no problems whatsoever. And I says, fine, but they were drilling and all the rest of it, you name it, that's in the video. He sat there and he said, we're going to send you a letter of an apology, Paul. Thank you very much, I said to him. Trust again, you see, I'm getting this bit of trust back. He says, and we're going to replace the item that you've had stolen. I was overwhelmed at that time. I thought, well, thank you, they were actually listening to me. I thought, that's nice, great. Now, off he went. So I emailed him and says, I actually emailed the head electric, said, what were they drilling at? Because they told me there was nothing wrong, right? Nothing. They didn't drill it, no, everything was fine. But then he sent me that email saying, it wasn't up to standard. You've seen the email. You've seen the clip. It wasn't up to standard, right? But we know that, don't we? Because it was a shit show. So they've had to put the coupling in, they've had to re-drill it and everything because it wasn't up to standard. 6,300 houses they've got. How many houses now have had them GOOMS electricity in that's not up to standard? How many are they going to check? Right, I've been sent it today. In the area of GOOMS, they've got a rating of 2.3. 2.3. That's quite low, really, isn't it? It shouldn't be anything. And if you've got a problem, you should address that problem. If you're in business, you should address that problem. Which takes me back to this air nibbler. Now, if I've upset somebody, or a business upsets somebody, my personal opinion is, you put their feelings right first. You put that person's feelings right. So when he come to my house, that head of housing, who already had the part numbers of that air nibbler, he should have come to my door, sat there and said, here you are, Paul, that's to replace the air nibbler. Oh, and by the way, you're going to be getting a letter of apology and we're really sorry. But no, all they wanted to do is get in here and correct the possible mistakes that they've made, which they did on the consumer unit. It wasn't up to standard. And he sent me an email today and admitted. So I've got more evidence, thank you very much to you, right? It wasn't up to standard. So if you're in Mansfield and you've had problems with GOOMS or a similar process, put in a complaint, okay? So I get an email today. You've read it. We've had a discussion with GOOMS, and GOOMS, as a gesture, that hurt me. I'm not angry about it. I'm frustrated about the whole shit show, right? As a gesture of goodwill, they're going to give me £50. £50. I'm 50 odd quid out of pocket from an item that's been stolen from my house. I've been assaulted. You've come in and made a shit show of my electrics. I've had to complain. I've been in hospital. I'm on sertraline to save me from killing me, son. 50 quid is what you're offering me. Is that what I'm worth? 50 fucking quid. Right, £50. Not that I want the money. Because I don't want the money and it's got nothing to do with the money. But that's a fucking insult. 50 quid. That's not even covering... Where's my apology? Oh, they're going to write to you. No, you're not. Because if you write to me or send me that voucher, I'll have you for harassment. Because you're causing me even more alarm and distress. You've already caused me this alarm and distress. You've upset me. Can you not understand? And at no point have you tried to put the situation right. You've had meetings with the council. You could have gone to Machine Mart. You pass it every single day. Pick me one up, pass it to the council, or bring it to me door. I'm not going to get violent with you. I'm not going to smack you on the end of the nose. But I will say this. If anybody tries to barge in my house again, you will get a preemptive legal strike. And the council's been told that. You will be pushed out of my house. Because nobody comes through that door now without a badge. Right? So that's my rant about it all. Put your tenants' feelings first. Not carry out all the electrics to cover your neck. Oh yeah, but we did the electric straight away. What about me? What about the goods that's been stolen? Why didn't I go to the police? I'd do it through an insurance claim against Mansfield District Council. So that's that. So we'll end that bit there. So this lad, you know who you are. And if you're watching this, you listen very, very carefully. I've asked for your name and they won't give me your name. The council will not give me your name. They can't under GDPR and all the rest of it. But when they sat on my settee, right, and bear in mind, people, this was a lad who knocked on my door, didn't know, I don't know his name. I said to that council bloke, I will get his name. God's honest, on my kid's life, I will get his name. And he looked at me gobsmacked. And I think he thought, no, you're not. It's from Derby. No, you're not. I passed the word around. Everybody around me knows me. Everybody in my little community knows what's been going off. One of their vans was driving along through Mansfield, and one of their vans got stopped. Now listen to this. Their van got pulled over by two lads who I know of. The driver was approached, friendly, non-threatening, non-violent, right? Otherwise, I'm sure the driver would have gone to the police. But will he go to the police knowing all the shit that's they've caused? The driver wound his window down. There was only one lad that approached that window, and he said to the driver, listen carefully to this. Who's had these tools then? That's what he said. Not in an aggressive manner. Who's had these tools then? The driver's face drained. And he said, it's got nothing to do with me, mate. So when they know all about it, it's got nothing to do with me. He says, I want the name of the lad who took them tools. So he gave this lad the name of that lad. So I've got your name, mate. I know I've got your name. Right? Remember that? And he said, he owes me money. No, correction. He's took money off me, were his words. He's took money off me. So I don't know whether he's borrowed it, stole it or whatever. But then he said, his tools are in the back of my van and he's not having them back. He's a beginning with E. Hence, masking smells. Was everybody that comes at the contractors should be DBS checked. The criminal record check. That lad had only had the job a day, had told me that. I don't think he was DBS checked. I think the contractors are just taking anybody on. So basically, the council go to contractors and trust these contractors to send these people into your homes that's been DBS checked, etc., 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 and do the job lawfully, politely, cleanly, and respectably. I've had none of that. I've had none of that. They've not been respectful in return or replace that tool. They're trying to fob me off with 50 quid, which is less than that doesn't cut the mustard. That doesn't cut the mustard. And this is not about me making any money from this. If they'd have come to my door and knocked on my door, they've got area managers and everything around here to say, oh, that's that to replace that, and we're really sorry, shake my hand, done. That's all it would have took. I'm a reasonable bloke. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to thrash him all up at street over it. It's done. It's to do with this lad who's done it, not GOOMS. But now they've created this issue. The work side of thing, it's a shit show. It's shocking. The electric, gone through a metal box, could have chafed. If there had been a kid to it, they could have been electrocuted. But anyway, that's another story. So what I'm saying is, this lad, I've got your name. I know who you are. I've been sent your details. That's going to be passed on to somebody to do a background check on you. No other reason. Don't want it for any other reason. No violence, no threats. No, I'm not going to be knocking on your door. None of that, right? If you wish to come to my door and bring me that tool back, that's the end of it. As far as you're concerned, you come to my door, bring me that tool back, apologise to me, and get off my garden. End of. All right? But I'm going to do a background check on you. I'm going to find out if you've got a criminal record. And if you've got a criminal record, then GOOMS, watch out. Because you've employed somebody with a criminal record and sent them into my property and they've stolen from me. Right? You've admitted liability, thank you. A £50 insult. It's an insult. I'd sooner go with nothing than the 50 quid. Nothing. It's not going to happen. So Mr. GOOMS, you know what I mean, Mr. GOOMS, I'm going to put it out to you today, right? Meet with me to discuss this matter. You can bring whoever you want. You can come here or I'll meet you at the council, right? You replace that tool. That's what I suggest that you do. You replace that tool like for like. You sit around that table and you try and convince me that this is not normal and your 2.3 rating is all made up and you don't make mistakes that the council have to bring back up to their standard. So if I wouldn't have made this complaint, that would have not been up to standard. I've had no paperwork, which is a legal requirement, but they're trying to cover that one up. I've had 2 tests on this, if not more, and I've still had no paperwork. No paperwork at all. When I'm supposed to have electrical test paperwork, gas paperwork test, and I have had nothing. And this is a ram. Meet me around that table, replace that tool, and let's see how much empathy you've got towards me, and let's see how much empathy you've got towards the other people. And let's see how much that £50, because where you're from, that will probably buy you a coffee and a donut, my friend. Right? But £50 to me is a lot of money. A lot of money. That's probably half my month's food bill. Let's have you on that table, face to face, present me with my stolen goods, and let's see what sort of a heart you've got. And you can donate. You can donate a 4-figure sum to charity of my choice as a gesture of goodwill. Are you prepared to do that after you're taking money off this council? Are you prepared to do it? Probably not, because I do not want your money. I don't want your money. Give it to somebody who needs the money. Correct the mistakes you're making. All I want is what's mine. And as it stands today, I'm out of pocket with a tool. I've been assaulted. I've been stressed. I've been hospitalised, etc., etc. Now, going back to this mental health team, who's supposed to be there to help people, who in the last few days I've tried to ring, but don't answer the phone. And with regards to the head of housing, repairs, who came here and says, have you got any problems with your house? I says, yeah, as it happens. Because that's what they do. We're even going to bribe you a bit. My chimney's leaning. Reported that 6 years ago. Nothing's been done about it. If it falls through that roof and hits me on the head or try to kill me, I'm going to sue you for every penny you've got because you've been told. Outside my front door, there's a patch of concrete. We'll repair that, Paul, because there's a crack like that through it. 6 years, never been done. I'm doing it myself. I've chopped it up. Anything else? My double glazing. It's knackered. It's got condensation in it. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything. So I showed them the front one. I says, at least you can do this one, because people walk down my drive and it's disgusting. I'll send somebody out to measure it. Oh, so why are you on the subject of this? You sent somebody out to service my boiler. Yeah, that's right. Lee. I said, no, Lee. I know his brother. He opened the cover and says, your boiler's out of date. My boiler's out of date. And there's a leak on it. I'm not fixing that, but your boiler's out of date. He then went in the loft to check the flue, and I've got daylight round the flue. So gas fumes could blow back in, or water can come back in. We'll sort that out. That's classed as an emergency, but he's going to do it after Christmas. So I've messaged him. He's not responded to my message. I had, what was all this drilling, blah. He's not responded to my message. I phoned him twice. He's not responded to my phone call. And now when I phoned the head electrics up, right, I phoned him up the other day and had a conversation with him. And he said, I said, Tim, are you recording? He went, So I know you're recording me. Because what they do is, I phone them, they ring me back. So they're all sat round on a speakerphone listening to me. But I'm polite and pleasant and all the rest of it, and nothing gets said, and I don't care. But that driver who works for GOOMS did no more than get in touch with them and ask for a request a meeting. He knew it was me. He panicked. He panicked. That driver went back, panicked. He's gone back to council, discussed the situation, discussed it with GOOMS, and tried to bribe me with a £50 bribe. So that's the situation. There's going to be a lot more videos on this. Now let's get in deep. It's on phase 2. It's going to end phase 2, and there's nothing they can give me that I want. Because there's nothing, they've not been respectful, they've not been polite. They reckon they're going to get badges, employees and contractors do it. They're not going to do it. We all know they're not going to do it because I've got no confidence in their words no more. If they're not going to pick the phone up and talk to me or whatever, I've got no confidence in you. So it's going to go to the Ombudsman, right? That's the first thing. With regard to the shit show and everything else. So it'll all be laid out in front of the Ombudsman and let them deal with it. I have a solicitor, not for monetary gains for me. I'm having GOOMS electrical investigated. I've already made a statement about GOOMS. I'm having them investigated. They've already made the Daily Mail, right? Now, a few years ago, I was contacted by a lady from Birmingham Media Company about 3 stories I'd done on PTSD. And she was here within 2 hours, sat on my settee, talking about 5 stories I'm writing for PTSD to be heard and published in a book. That's another story. I rang her the other night and had a little conversation with her. She's quite prepared to do a story about this and quite prepared to highlight this nationally in a national newspaper. So you've got that to come as well. So you're going to be in another newspaper. You're going to be investigated. The substantial work that you're doing in council properties. We're people as well, We are people, Don't look at us as tenants. Look at us as people because you're not. On paper, we're just tenants. They come to your door, they don't even know your name. I've just come in, they don't know your name, they're not polite. 90% of them are not polite, the contractors. They don't treat you as a person. And that's certainly proven with this empathy towards my goods that's been stolen. They could have replaced them, and I'm going on about it because that's hurt me the most. That's hurt me the most. They're looking after their interests. Best get that work done first because this is going to kick off. Bollocks to his well-being. They knew I had mental health issues because the mental health team went back. And by the way, you shouldn't have come anywhere near me. You were not allowed to come anywhere near me. Not allowed! You have interrupted my mental health treatment. No, and you can Google it. Everybody can Google it. You can't come into somebody's house, a mental health team, when somebody's got mental health issues and start discussing his mental health. It's just wrong. Who do you think you are doing that? And I've rung you and you've not answered the phone conversation. You're not, because I'm on lockdown now, am I? There's my number come up and you locked me down. You're wrong. You've stepped out of line. So that with my mental health team will be writing to you regards to that. Right? Furthermore, and my last point is, this is what I want. This is what I want. And this is what I will get. That tool will be replaced. No compensation. But I want my tool. I want that tool replacing. It doesn't matter whether it's a tool, a telly, a radio, a CD. It wants replacing. It will be replacing. Right? Otherwise, I'll take you to court for that. More claims court for money and edit all my costs and everything else. I'll take you to court for that. What's going to happen? No contractor will visit any tenant's house in the UK. No contractor will visit their house without displaying a badge, without identifying themselves, same as the police, SIA, or anybody else. When somebody comes to the door, you have to be able to trust that person entering in your home, your house. Every person will have to produce that identification, wear that identification, right? And the customer, the tenant, the person will have the right to photograph that badge. That's what's going to happen. All contractors entering any premises will be DBS checked. And cutting in on this one, if you collect scrap on the street, you have to have a scrap license and you have to pay 150 quid and you have to be DBS checked. If you go into the council offices and collect scrap or go into any behind the doors of the offices, you have to be DBS checked. But it's all right for them to come into your home where there's money, there's ornaments, there's cash, there's valuables, there's possession, there's car keys, without being DBS checked. That's going to be changed. That's been put forward to a member of parliament who's now taking my case on. He's taking my case on. He's concerned. So a member of parliament will be standing in parliament and voicing my concerns. One of my constituents or whatever. That's going to be voiced in parliament and that's going to be put forward. The regulations and rules will be changed on my heart, because there's not just me, there's elderly people, there's vulnerable people. And he says, but DBS checks are done for vulnerable people. We are all vulnerable. We are all vulnerable people. We should all be treated the same. My argument is, you knew I was vulnerable. You knew I was vulnerable. Your mental health team was contacting me. You knew I was vulnerable. They even said it was going to be highlighted on the screen that nobody is to attend my house without consent from me and letting me know that you're coming and read through my mental health problems. You knew I'd got mental health issues. And yet you've sent them into my house. You've not sent, and with GOOMS, you've not sent one electrician to see the job through. I've had 5 or more every single time. And there's not one that's based locally, and I'm going over ground I've covered. Changes need to be made. Changes will be made. I'd like to drop this tomorrow or whatever, but I'm not, because I've lost the trust in the council. The contractors they're using are not fit for purpose. That's been identified. The work's been checked that they're done and it's not up to standard. How many more homes? I'm going to end this, but before I do, if you've had GOOMS electrical services in your property, please, 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 please check your electrical fuse boxes and the work. If you're unsure, get your tenants or get somebody, get your, whoever you're renting the house or the property off, and you're a tenant, get them to get somebody out to check over the work. Make sure that you get the paperwork. If you're unsure at this moment in time and you're panicking, take a photo of your consumer unit, Google it, Google the rules and regulations, make sure it's got all the proper sleeves on, make sure everything looks in place. If you're unsure, report it. If you're in the Mansfield District Council and you've got problems with this electrical company, put in a formal complaint, stage 1 complaint with regards to them. You need to, you must do. You don't have to listen to me, but please, please, please do it. If you've got if your consumer unit or your electrics is in a vulnerable place where kids can get near it and them wires chafe, you could have one of your children or yourself be electrocuted. If that's not got a sleeve around it like mine didn't, and them wires are chafing over time and touching that metal, and then it's on the metal, and your electric trips, and you think, oh, my electric's tripped, I'll go and trip it back on, and you touch that switch, you're going to get an electrical shock. All right? I'm not saying it's, every house is the same, but please, I'm begging you, get your electrics looked at, get it checked. If you're not happy, stage 1 complaint, get the council to send their lads, get them to send one of their lads out to look at it. And if you're not happy with that, get an electrician out. Get somebody who knows what they're doing to look it, take the cover off, look inside, because you can't, obviously you've got to get an electrician. I'm having it all tested. I'm having all that tested. I'm having surveyors come out. I'm having electric testers. I'm having the gas redone. I'm having absolutely everything done to make sure that everything's right. And if it's not right, it's going to be put right. And then if they don't put it right, I'll have them. I'll have them and all. They've had ample opportunity from that first phone call to sort it all out. And now they're down there panicking, running around like headless chickens, right? Because I've complained onto stage 2. None of it is necessary. None of it was necessary. It could have been ended in the first phone call. Could have been right with me, polite with me, dealt with it, done. But they haven't. But please check your electrics. Share this if you've got anybody around here. Let them know. Let them know my videos that I'm going to be putting on. There's going to be a lot more. As it progresses down and goes to court and parliament, I will let people know exactly what's happened. This will be placed into parliament, and hopefully the tenants will have a bit more reassurance that your property's safe. It's funny that private landlords have stricter things forced on them than the local authorities do. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. If this was a private home, if I was renting this privately and I went to the council, they'd be suing them. They'd be suing these. They'd be having a go at your private landlord, suing them, having them in court and fining them tens of thousands of pounds. That's what they'd be doing. So they deserve the same treatment. But I've said to the council, and I will show anybody the emails I've sent, all the phone calls and everything. Sit down with me. Sit down with me, discuss it, and put something into place. And reassure me and reassure the tenants and put it out there, right, to the tenants. Do not let anybody... The only time that there was this scamming thing, there was only concerned about was, don't open your door to scammers. If they knock on your door and want to do a survey on your house, don't let them. They only want to get in and scam you and take us to court and rob us. That's basically what they said on it. Basically, they don't want you to open the door to these surveyors to come into the property to examine it for mould and damp, because now they can be done for mould. Now, and that's another thing before I end. They're concerned about mould. I vent my house, open the windows every morning, all the rest of it. Bathroom windows. Whenever I bath, I have to open the window for steam. Complain about an extractor fan, which if I didn't have one, could have caused mould. Ignored it. They say it in one breath, but change their mind in another. You know what I mean? And then when you ask them a question, or you want an answer from them, the tongue's going like that. That's what they sit here doing. And the reason they're doing that, because they're thinking of something, what they can say, what they're not going to get into trouble for. Right? And this is the best bit. When the second bloke come, right, who was very polite on the phone and he rented a house and all the rest of it, sat on my settee, and this is the best bit, he said to me, I'd lift this to stage 2. You want to lift this to stage 2? Because he closed stage 1. I said, why have you closed it? I've not dealt with it. You've not been dealt with it. It should be up to me if I close it, not you. You can't just say, we've done our bit, close it. It's up to me. It's my case. It should be up to me if I want to close it. I said, you've closed it. I said, no. It says, lift it to stage 2. That's what he said to me. So he knows what's going off. He knows damn well what's going off. Lift it to stage 2. Know what I'm saying? God bless everybody. Keep you in touch. It's a shit show.